If
This
you can,
conference will now be recorded.
you can go ahead and use the chat feature for any questions that you have. We have Linda's computer pulled up also in the office here, and so she's going to come in and out of the screen. She's going to monitor the questions coming in on the chat. That way we can do our best to be sure that your questions are answered. So if you can use that, that'll be helpful. Also, just want to remind everybody who's participating today, and there's so many of you, which we're excited about, that this platform isn't the opportunity for questions that you might have regarding commission disputes or past experiences or anything like that with any builder. Not just the builders even on the panel, but just in general. This is certainly not the platform for those types of situations. As we know, they come up. We want to keep everything positive in nature and factual so everybody gets the most information possible today. And also just a quick note that we thought was important to mention, all of our panelists today and participating home builders are members of the St. Louis Home Builders Association. We think that's something really important that you guys know. A lot of people don't realize that not every builder in our market is a member of the Home Builders Association. And all three, not only are they members, but they're active members. These builders are actively involved. And for people who don't know, the Home Builders Association works really hard to ensure that home building in our community is making positive contributions to our local communities and municipalities. They work hard to regulate cost and that type of thing that goes into home building, which is then directly passed on to your clients as well. So it's definitely, in my mind, as a realtor, always shows a sense of quality and integrity. And so wanted to mention that the involvement that these people have. So with that, we are going to move in to introduction of our panelists today. So we're lucky enough to have three home builder panelists joining us today. We're appreciative of their time, and they're busy just like you guys are. So we're appreciative of them taking their time out today for us. So we have three people. We have Tim Miller from Bridgewater Communities. We have Jim Horton from Fisher and Fritchell Custom Homes, and Katie from Payne Family Homes. So we are going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves before we get going into some questions. So Tim, would you like to go first? I'd have to unmute yourself, Tim.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You won't be able to see me now. So, do you have questions for me?
No, just wanted to see if you could give yourself or give the audience an introduction to yourself and your company.
I'm Tim Miller. I'm the owner and president of Bridgewater Communities. We build villas in the St. Charles, Franklin County, St. Louis County area. That's all we do. We think we know villas better than anybody else. We build about 40 to 50 villas a year.
Awesome. Jim Horton, Fisher and Fritchell, would you like to give us a little introduction?
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, Jim Horton. I'm with Fisher and Fritchell. I'm a neighborhood sales manager for 3 neighborhoods that we have in St. Charles. And also for the offsites over in St. Charles too. So Fisher and Fritchell, I'm sure you know, I've been now with the company now for 20 years, long time. So they kind of lean on me a little bit on these type of things. So very happy to do it. I just love it. Fisher and Fritchell is actually celebrating its 75th year this year, which is really awesome. It's kind of a bad situation now with what's going on, but it's we are excited about the 75th year. We're planning on doing some things for the community as far as celebrations, and we're looking forward to it. We're known for our quality, obviously our service, and our innovative floor plans. We have about 14 different neighborhoods going right now, from villas all the way up to single family homes, more of the estate type, up to 1.5 million or so.
Great, thanks, Jim. Katie, Family Homes.
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Katie with Payne Family Homes. I'm the director of sales for Payne, and we are building in about 15 or 16 different communities, from a variety of plans, from condos to villas to single family, Wentzville, St. Charles, St. Louis County. We're kind of all over the place. We got something for everyone.
Great. Katie, since you're already on and talking, we'll have you start with the first question. And the first question is, are your sales offices open and operational during this time? Should a client want to see your homes? And if you can also touch on the design center as well.
Sure. Yeah, we are open. We are open from Thursday to Sunday every week, but we are by appointment only during the Thursday to Sunday timeframe. But realistically, our salespeople are available 7 days a week. Their office phones go straight to their cell phone, so even if they're not in the office, they are receiving phone calls. I had 2 of my sales managers go into the office yesterday on Easter. So we will literally work whenever our clients need us to be there. We will, make any arrangements as far as safety, if they want us to wipe things down, a little bit extra before we go in. If they would like to go in by themselves and just have us unlock the door, we can accommodate that as well. Right now, we don't have any assistants working, but like I said, we're available every day virtually and by appointment. But the design studio?
Yeah.
I forgot that question. So the design studio, we are open for browsing hours by appointment only. We're trying to have 1 appointment a day, mainly for safety, obviously, because everybody during a design appointment is touching so many different things in the office, and it does take quite a while for them to wipe things down. But if somebody wants to view some of the colors and things before they purchase, we can accommodate that by an appointment. And we'll get to some other measures that we have in place, but there's a really cool thing that we're doing to really ensure that people are getting the experience that they need, even without looking at those colors in person.
Okay, sounds good. Jim, would you like to answer that question as well about sales offices and design center during this time?
Sure. We're basically doing it by appointment also. We've got the guys that we're open every day, pretty much. It's like everybody has 2 days off. They're different for each subdivision because we have different needs. Some of our people they qualify for being off because of school, helping with their kids at school and all that kind of thing. But they are on their cell phones at all times and then schedule appointments accordingly. We do clean our offices a couple times a week. All of our displays that we're in, they get the hazmat teams come in basically and clean them down. And then of course everything's on Supra still. A lot of them are on Supra, so they can come in that way. The home center is staggered. We have so many appointments. I mean, Linda mentioned being record quarter. We did have a record quarter, and we still have a lot of people wanting to get through that home center. And we do have a temporary home center, even though our new one's going to be opening within about a month. And they've been going through that, and it's twice. They stagger them probably about 3 to 4 appointments a day, and each we have 2 interior designers, and each takes 2. And they limit it to 1 meeting per session, I suppose. So that's kind of what we're going on now.
Okay, sounds great. How about you, Tim? Bridgewater? Tim, are you there?
Had on mute, sorry.
Okay.
Bridgewater Communities has 4 active communities right now. 2 are open 7 days a week. 2 are open 2 to 4 days a week. We're seeing lesser activity, but better quality buyers. We took a home site reservation Saturday. We're pricing somebody out at a different community on Saturday. It's coming back for contract appointment next Saturday. So I feel that if we're not open, people can't get in. Virtual tours are great, but if they can actually get in the house and feel what it's like to live in the house, that's the best thing we can do for them. So, and again, we're open 24/7 for phone calls from our salespeople.
So Tim, that kind of leads us into our next question. Obviously, every company, you guys all have fantastic websites. If an agent or a client is, working at home and using this time to do some home research, other than your website, what's the best way for them to obtain information about your company?
This is Tim again. I'll start.
Yep.
Best information is to contact the villa expert for the particular community that you're looking for, or contact anyone and they can guide you in the right direction depending on location, price range, features that you want. But on our website, phone numbers and email addresses are on for all the villa experts. So contact them and talk to them. We'll be in touch.
Katie, would you want to expand on that question from Payne Family Homes,
Sure.
other website?
Sure, yeah. I mean, of course, you can get all of that information on our website, but if you don't have the time or just really need a quick answer, you can always reach out to our online sales department, Krista and Kim, and they're a huge resource to take advantage of because you could call into them or just start a chat with them and know, you could give them the price point that your client is looking in, you could give them, the type of home or the time frame, and they could, narrow your list down within 10 seconds. So that would honestly be the quickest and easiest way for you to get accurate real-time information for your clients. And then from there, they can guide you to the sales manager.
Okay. How about you, Jim, from Fisher and Fritchell?
Yeah, we've got Kim Kelly's our OSC. She's very versed in all of the neighborhoods. She does has the initial contact, and then it goes to the individual salesperson who knows the more details within the neighborhood. We also have the Realtor Hub on our website, and so if you sign up there, then you will get you can get the latest news for what we are offering for promos and things like that. So in our newest neighborhoods. And then you do have quick access that way to our OSC.
Great. And so you all obviously have a great and functional website. I know Jim and Katie both mentioned OSC. So in regards to those two things, and we'll start with you, Jim, since you're already on the screen now, have you seen an increase in traffic on your website or through your OSC during the recent weeks?
Yeah, actually, we've had about a 10% uptick. And when you do, they seem to be much more qualified, like Tim had mentioned he's seeing right now. We're getting that also. We're getting the more qualified people that really, they're spending a lot more time with the OSC and then actually making some appointments and things like that as we go through it.
Great. Tim, can you comment on traffic on your website during this time?
It's about up 10% as well. And again, quality is better. If people are shopping right now, they're actually looking beyond the virus and trying to get into a villa for planning for that.
Great. Katie, how about you guys?
Yep, same with us. Our OSC is seeing numbers that we haven't seen in a while, maybe even ever. And it's really encouraging because a lot of the people that are reaching out to our online sales consultants are not only agents, but buyers, just really wanting to be educated in what we're doing, during this situation. Can they still write contracts? What's going to happen if they write a contract in a month from now and the stay-at-home order isn't lifted? So we have a lot of people asking really good questions. Leading into, we really want to write a contract. We're just not sure what to do right now. So educating them has been really, really interesting and helpful, I think, for them to make these decisions. So it's been good.
Great. So Katie, since you're on, we'll start with you on the next question. Do you think that the current market conditions are going to affect the overall buyer experience? So things like pricing and promotion and timeframes to build or building materials, supplies, those are things that we've typically seen situations and changes in our market have sometimes affected. So can you comment on, what you think, how you feel that this current situation could affect our market moving forward?
Yeah, even before the pandemic, there was a shortage of framers. So, that hasn't changed. Our build time is still, about 4 to 5 months. So that hasn't changed either. But we're trying to not let the current situation affect our buyer experience. That's why we came up with the purchase protection program in order for people to purchase and not have to worry about what if they, weren't able to see the color of the cabinets or walk through the house. So we acknowledge that, there is a lot going on and that this could affect people's experience, but what we're doing is trying really hard not to let it affect the excitement in their experience as a whole by allowing them to purchase now and then go through the real experience maybe in 30 to 45 to 60 days from now. So yes, I think it's inevitable. It's going to affect everybody in the world. But what we're trying to do is minimize the negative experience that people could have by forcing them to get started and letting them go through the true excitement of new home construction.
Okay, great. And just so everybody knows, before we wrap up today, we're going to let each one of the builders talk about the promotions or any accommodations that they're making. So Katie will touch on that program as well. Jim, thoughts on the current market and how or what the effects might be?
Yeah, I think we're seeing right now a slight increase in time due to a couple of things that are like backlog, like 8-foot doors, things like that are starting to push back just a little bit. We don't anticipate a whole lot, but we are seeing some of it. Our biggest thing was that we had a big backlog, and that already we're on we're about 5-month build times, 4.5-month build times for our Heritage and our Estate series, which I'm mostly involved with. And so because of that, we're on about, I would say because of the backlog, we increased it by 1 month from the total process going through the design center and everything from 6 months to about 7 months. So that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now.
Okay, how about you, Tim?
We're trying to make the experience as normal as possible. We can either do the color selections in the sales office, or we can do it in our design center back at our main office, one person at a time. We always take care of our customers one at a time, so that really doesn't change. I see more because I own the company. I see the sales and the production side of it. And my feeling is we're gonna be kind of bitten behind by some supply chain issues that we haven't actually seen yet. But a lot of electric fixtures, plumbing fixtures, materials are built in or manufactured in China and need to be shipped over here, and those plants have been shut down for a while, and we haven't actually seen it yet, but I could foresee that being an issue.
Tim, just to expand on that a little bit, based on previous experiences, do you know about how long after a situation like this that we might start to feel that a little bit?
Well, everybody's building homes now and pulling out of inventory that's in the United States, so it's, it could be 2 months to 4 months. Just depends on who gets the materials. I'm sure the bigger national builders are buying up everything they can get their hands on, using their buying power to get ahead of that. So the smaller fish you are in the pond, the smaller or the greater problem you might have.
Gotcha. So Tim, since you're on there, we'll stick with you on the next question. Why do you feel that the best option for buyers today could be new construction? I know Linda and I always think that new construction is the best option for many buyers, but your take on why you feel that right now?
It's kind of always the same for us. Our buyers are buyers that have owned several homes before. They want a specific items in their villa that they can't actually find in a pre-owned villa. So we personalize our villas to exactly what our customers need. And you can't get that with anything other than new construction. Plus we have beautiful communities, and times are great to sell their 4 and 5 bedroom homes and move into a villa. So the move-up families, the rates are low. Move-up families can afford more house with the lower rates. So it's a great time to buy new construction.
Absolutely. Katie, your thoughts on that?
Well, you know me, I'm obsessed with new construction. Always the best to buy. But I mean, the biggest reason I would say right now, especially obviously for health reasons, your buyers aren't going to have to walk through resale properties or have to worry about that. But I mean, we're able to do things, I would say, that, resale homes can't do. Stipulations, contingencies, people, your buyers can buy now, find them their house right now, let them list their home and not have to worry about, not being able to qualify or anything like that. So, I mean, I would say just the fact that we're able to do things that sellers might not, we can give them 3 months if they need 3 months to sell their house or to figure out if their job is going to be here in a month from now. I mean, I think those are really important things to talk to your buyers about, ones who are worried about having, maybe 2 house payments if their current home hasn't sold. So we just have a little bit more, stability, I think, and we can give them the confidence that they can find their house, pick their neighborhood, find their lot, get the deal that they want, but still get all of their stuff together as far as finances and stuff. So.
Okay, Jim?
Yeah, it's the new and clean. That's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. It's you don't have to worry so much about going through, like Katie was saying, where people are going into used homes. Plus, at the same time, people are starting to learn their limitations of their current homes, I think, and because they're staying at home now a lot with everybody. And I'm thinking that because they are staying home, they're kind of going, well, we really need this and need that. I'm looking for this to be an opportunity in the near future here. So.
Okay. So Jim, if you can start with our next question, are there any specific communities, products, or promotions that you would like to tell the agent community about today?
Well, first of all, we're one of the few that are 100% union. So we still have a little bit of that money from the union stimulus is still remaining. It's getting very, very low because, again, we had record sales, but there was only 3 of us involved this year. So that's where the union's giving closing money, basically giving you some cash to your customers' cash to close with. And we match that at the same time, whatever that is. It's between $2,000 and $10,000. I'm in charge of 3 neighborhoods, all in St. Charles. They're kind of getting limited on the number of home sites, but I do there's like at the Woods of Cottleville Trail, I've got two opportunities remaining. One of them is an inventory home, and this is on a 1-acre home site, and it's at $799. It normally would be at $830,000. 1-acre site, great for a pool. It's a story and a half. It's almost 4,300 square feet, and the neighborhood, the average in here is probably around 900 and something, $900 some $1,000. So with a high of 1.1. So to get in here at that 800,000 mark, 799 mark is a great opportunity. Opened 2 new sites in Weldon Spring too, 2 new home sites at Elman Farms. They're 3/4 of an acre. They're non-walkout sites, so they're in-grade sites, but they have mature trees on them. There's 3 sites total there, and all of them are between like 125 foot to 160 foot wide. So because of that, you get a lot of distance between the homes. There's a lot of features in there on that too. So, and then finally, the Meadow at Myers Ridge, which is off Towers and Kisker Road. 28 sites. We tried to build a display in there, but they sold out so quick and we had to sell them. Somebody wanted to display, so we sold it. We're down to 7 lots. Those are going to be basically in the average, probably around 600, but you can get in there pretty easily in the low 5s, depending on what kind of a plan you like. So those are my 3 that I'd like to talk about.
Sounds good. Tim, got you any specific communities, products, or promotions you'd like the agents to know about?
We've got a brand new product that we rolled out at Villas of Green Forest off Mexico Road in St. Peters. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1,000 square foot product with luxury features built into the base price. They're starting in the 180s. There we've got out of 12 under construction, 10 are sold, 2 are available, and there's another 4-unit building that's coming up for construction. So there's still opportunities there. We've got the villas at Keaton Woods in O'Fallon, right off Keaton Corporate Parkway, which is not even in MLS yet. We're just finishing up our display over there. And we've got the villas at Renaissance in Wentzville, the villas at Weber Farms in Washington, Missouri, and the villas at Franklin County Country Club in Franklin County, Missouri. All open and available for sale with beautiful villas. We don't really have many, other than Villas of Green Forest, we don't have any, we call them jump starts, or other people call them spec homes or inventory homes, but we find our customers want to personalize them too much to build spec homes because they want to pick everything out themselves. And then promotions are one of the best things that we do. Is our customers want convenience. They don't want to double move. So we give them a extended closing date where we will guarantee the house will be ready no sooner than this point, and they can close no later than that point. So they can put their house on the market for sale and try and time it where they can move right into their villa and out of their existing home. So that is more valuable to them than money.
Yeah, very good point. Katie, how about you guys? Communities, products, or promotions? I know you touched briefly on one of your newer promotions. If you want to tell us about that.
Sorry, I jump started that.
I'm glad.
We're really excited about this program that we rolled out. It's called the Purchase Protection Program. And what we've found over the past couple weeks is that some of our buyers, like I was saying on the OSC stuff, they're ready. They want to buy. They're just a little bit timid and afraid. So we wanted to come up with a plan for our buyers and your clients that really doesn't stop the process with them right now looking for a home. So the people who their job might be on the line, or they just really don't want to leave their house until the stay-at-home order has lifted, we're allowing them to virtually secure their home site, mail in their check. They can switch home sites, floor plans, lots, options. They can change anything they want once the stay-at-home order is lifted. They've got a certain amount of time that they would need to firm up in. And if they need an extension, we can extend it. And if they simply just say, hey, this isn't for us, we don't want to buy, it's a 100% money back guarantee. Not something typically that new construction does, but we thought, difficult times call for, we have to change to adapt. And that's what we're doing. We just don't want the customers who are out there to stop their process. And we're hoping that you guys encourage them to not stop as well. So as an added bonus to our agent community, we're offering any agent who, helps us write a contract this month, they get a $1,000 bonus, and their buyer gets the bonus as well. So it's not, that weird interaction at contract where it's like, hey, sign this, I'm getting a bonus. But everybody gets a bonus, a $1,000 bonus this month, and then the purchase protection program just enables them to feel comfortable making this decision, and they don't have to stop the process. Because we firmly believe that 30, 60, 90 days from now, the market is going to flood with a lot of people going, oh my gosh, I need a house, and inventory is going to be really low. The benefit to these people is they're already secured. They don't have to worry about bidding wars or price increases or anything like that. So we're very excited about this and hope you guys bring us lots of buyers.
Great. Thanks to all of you for all that good information. A couple things, make sure any questions you have for them, if you can go ahead and put them into the chat box. Linda's monitoring that right now. We'll come back with some of those questions, but a few things while we're collecting those questions that we thought would be a good time to remind you guys about as agents. As you know, Payne Family Homes, Fisher and Fritchell, and Bridgewater Communities are all marketing partners with the Boehmer team. And, when we put our listings in the MLS, we try really hard to follow all of the Maris rules and guidelines. Of course, not every agent that's listing new construction out there does that, but a couple things that we would like to point out to you if you're looking at our listings or any new construction listing. Maris asks that when we're listing a property that is a to be built, that we use the TBB in front of the information. So a lot of times agents will call us and say, I'm calling you about the TBB Fairfax. Well, TBB is to be built. So it's a good opportunity to remind everybody about that. And once again, that's Maris that has asked us to signify, that by using those letters on that. And then UC is under construction. So that's another thing that Maris has required, is that when a house is in the process of being built, we use the UC. So if you would see UC 123 Main Street, that is under construction. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're searching the MLS. Jim referenced that Supras. So one of the things that we're doing, with the Boehmer team is we're trying to put supers on houses earlier than ever now, provided it's a safe construction site for you to take and tour with your clients. But that gives a little more flexibility for seeing these properties during times that work for you and your buyers. So we're trying hard to do that. And just as a rule of thumb, I think I can speak for most agents who list new construction properties, and to be honest, any properties. It's so important to look at the agent remarks in the MLS. That is the only avenue that we have to tell you guys specifically that the best contact number to reach the builder representative, which is always good. The best information maybe on their availability and their hours, how to go about writing a contract, whether or not the property is on Supra. Another thing is estimated completion date. We get a lot of phone calls from people who see those under construction houses and say, my buyer's coming in a certain time frame. When will this home be finished? Well, we do our best to stay on top of those, but those are always noted in the agent remarks. So please, and I'll be honest, I'm seeing agent remarks used on listings way more now through COVID-19 because they're putting in extra information about regulations on showing. So please, as agents, do your due diligence to eliminate, unnecessary phone calls and questions for yourself by just simply looking at the agent remarks on many occasions. That can really help that. So couple of questions that have come in for our panelists. I'm going to kind of shift it over to Linda here. Some things, and please continue to bring those questions coming in so we can ask our builders today.
Just one of them is, what is the best advice, if you can give from a home building standpoint, to agents as far as making our relationship smoother? What is just some tips that you can give, each of you, just one or two, that really can keep in this challenging times, that you can give to us just to make things go smoother? What's your best advice?
Katie, we'll come back to you since I think the mic was on you last.
There you go. Hey, that's a really good question. I think that it's a hard question because sometimes, whether it be the new home sales consultant or the agent, sometimes people have preconceived, ideas in their head of oh my gosh, okay, I'm going in, and that salesperson, they're going to be, really salesy, or the sales manager might go, oh gosh, there's an agent and they're going to be a know-it-all. So I think, best advice that I think I can give is something that I've just learned in general, is just, if I always think the best of the person that I'm dealing with, and know that their intentions or believe that their intentions are pure, then I'm going to go into it with a different mindset. But all in all, we are big, at least King Family Homes is, on educating our buyers. So on both sides, each one of us, just not to get offended if we correct something. If an agent comes in and says, hey, you can get all your money back if you write a contract, the sales manager corrects, or vice versa. But no, it's an interesting question, one that I wasn't expecting, but I would say that's the best advice that I can give, is just know that we're all on the same. Yeah. We're all trying to get the sale and have our customer, enjoy and love the house that they're building. So.
Great. Jim, you want to chime in on that? Best advice?
Yeah, I would think that it's a team effort. We want the customer to be happy in the end, both us as a company and you as that's being your client. So as long as we're all working towards making them happy together, that's the key. We don't have to be confrontational. I mean, we get that sometimes, but very rarely. It's mostly, I do get a lot of, it is a good relationship between me and the realtor as well as the customer. So, because we do listen, we listen a lot more than we talk. So it's something that we have to keep in mind, is we're trying to do the best. Be patient with the process, because it is a human process. Mistakes happen, but we do take care of them in the end. So as long as that happens, we understand that everybody's on the same page.
There you go.
But Tim, best advice?
I would say two things. One, if you're an agent and you're working with a client, please register them at any community you think they might visit, so that you're registered as their procuring cause of their reason for coming to see us. It makes it a lot easier on our side. And secondly, Bridgewater Communities is a niche builder. We get very involved. We know our customers extremely well. We have a good process to take our customers through. If agents would let us do our job, ask questions, but let us do our job and take our customers through in the process and the systems that we have to take them through, we know that our buyers, which are our ultimate goal, will have the best experience possible. So register early and often and let the builders do their jobs.
Tim, you bring up a great point about registering your clients. Can you expand on that? If you register with Bridgewater Communities, I'll keep it specific to your company. If you register with Bridgewater Communities at the villas at Renaissance Crossing, is that registration good for all of your communities? Or does the agent need to register at each potential community for their buyer individually?
One registration at any community would work with any other community. So one agent
Okay.
with one
Okay.
one client.
Jim, you touch on that for Fisher and Fritchel, the policy on that. Would you register at each community individually, or one registration is good?
And you can do one, but for you to be involved with each individual, with your person, you would definitely want to register with the person that you're meeting with, your representative, because you're going to be representing them. You should be there for when you're writing the contract, or at least contacting us, the person that's writing the contract in that neighborhood. I think you should definitely register with that person.
How about you, Katie, for Payne Family Homes, the policy there?
Yeah, it's an awesome question. I'm glad that this came up. You can register one time, and if our sales manager puts it into the system, right, you should be registered with all of your, any community that your buyer goes to. But that said, as much as you can call ahead to the sales manager to let them know that you're working with someone, the better. We have an awesome working relationship with agents right now, and we're really proud of that. I think upwards of 67% of our homes sold have agents with them. So we're really proud of that. But the biggest change that we've implemented recently is we just put it in our contract. Are you working with a real estate agent? We made it so simple. And since we've done that, even if somebody forgets to notify you that they're coming to the community and they see that question, are you working with a real estate agent? It's spurred people going, oh my gosh, yeah, I haven't talked to them in a week, but yeah, I'm working with so-and-so. And then the sales manager can look up in the system or on their card to see if they were registered. So it's just got to be fair for all. And I think that's the best way to do it. And it's been working great for us. So just make sure your buyer knows to notify us before contract, or at least at the very least at contract, and we're good to go.
Okay. Another question?
All right, we've got another question that says to all three representatives, do you appreciate a buyer who has a realtor representing them? This particular agent tries to educate their buyers about having him reach out and contact the builder initially and the importance of that. And I think you all have an opportunity to talk here, but of course, every builder has an appreciation for a buyer, I would say, whether they do or don't have a realtor, and especially if they have a realtor who's been a procuring cause and brought them to the neighborhood. But I'll let you guys answer that. Tim?
We love agents that are procuring causes and help procure a sale for Bridgewater Communities. We're more than happy to pay them, and we have a quick pay program and some other options available on our website. But just like any other builder, I hate to see a salesperson working with somebody for 3 or 4 months and then have a builder come in at the last minute before contract and say they're representing the builder when we've never heard anything about them.
Understand, and that's a great point.
Sad but true, and creates hard feelings.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you. Katie?
Yeah, I think it's a great point too. We encourage agents, as you can tell by the stats that I had given you before. We just encourage everybody to tell us up front, and we encourage agents to be a part of the process with our buyer. Honestly, most of the people that we sell to with agents have really great relationships with their agent, and they want them to be part of the color process and the pre-construction meeting, and they want them to be involved. So a lot of the times our sales managers and our real estate agents are friends, and we have a loyalty program for our real estate agents. So you guys keep the buyers coming and make the cause of them coming in, and reach out to our OSC. But it's $500 bonus program for you and your buyer. If you sell to a customer, say in January, and then you bring another one back in February or March, then you get $500 at closing, and your buyer gets an additional $500 towards design service stuff. So yes, we absolutely encourage agents in the relationship.
Jim?
Yeah, it's the same. I'm sure all of us we fight for the agents, their business, because you guys have all the buyers, right? Or a lot of them. So it's 50% at least of our business is from realtors. Most everybody's probably familiar with our realtor appreciation program, where we do the trips for all of our inventory homes, where they get $1,500 trip to $3,500 trip, depending on which one that is. So what the price of the home is. I mean, for instance, the one I've got in Cottleville, not only would you get your commission, but $3,500 trip to go anywhere you want, so we love the agents.
Just have another question here. I know this is, I guess it's a hard one to predict, but when the stay-home order is lifted and the fear is gone, and do you all, and probably Tim, this is a great one for you as well to start with, but when the order is lifted and we get back, do we anticipate sales hours and processes and everything to resume fairly quickly? I know it's an anticipatory question, but what are your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Jim.
Personally, I think there's going to be some changes in society overall. So it's really going to be hard to say. I think there's going to be a little bit of a pent-up demand, because there was already when this started. We were like slammed, and then this is this came on us really quick. Obviously, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, like it's hopeful, but maybe third quarter we might start seeing something. The pushback where we were before. So I'm just hopeful of that.
How about you, Tim?
We've tried to limit our changes on our sales process as much as possible by keeping our sales offices open as much as possible. So I think as soon as people can get out of their houses and the weather is nice and they want to go out and look for new construction, they're going to be out in droves, and we're going to be ready for them.
How about you, Katie?
Yeah, obviously we all don't have a crystal ball, but I think there are some really neat things that we've been implementing, and we're going to settle into somewhat of a new normal. Hopefully, our goal is within the next 30 days. But one of them just said, we might not go back to complete normal, maybe ever. But I think we're learning some really new, innovative ways to overcome obstacles, and I think there's just going to be a new sort of normal, and that's the good that I'm hoping that comes out of this. We're just going to be really creative on ways to help people get out of the market. So yeah, 30 days is our plan to get back to normal, or the new normal.
Good deal. That's it.
Couple comments that have come in on the chat that I think is great feedback. A lot of people are saying that with these builders, the registration process is really easy. I'm so glad that came up in the conversation today, because I think all these builders have just gone above and beyond to make it so easy to register a client. So make sure you're doing that. I mean, that's the number one way to kind of get, started in the process is getting online, or calling the online salesperson, or going to the community and talking to the salesperson. But get your client registered, and find out more about your role in representing them properly with that builder. So lots of positive comments on the chat about how easy it is to do that. So that's great. Thank you for that feedback. What else you want to?
No, I don't have anything else. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. New construction is always a great option. We all believe that.
Katie, Jim, Tim, any last final comments before we wrap up here today?
I'll go. I'm thankful that, you know, to you guys, to the Boehmer team, for putting something like this together. There's a lot of miscommunication, misconceptions about, you know, new construction and new home sales managers and agents. So I'm glad that one question did come up, even though it did throw me for a loop. Just know, you know, that new construction, we encourage agents, and we want your business. We encourage you to be a part of the process, and we have fun with it. We want to have fun with you. We want your buyers to get into a home that they love. So the more information that you can give us before you even come to the office, the better. That way we can help our mutual client and get them into a home. So thank you all.
Jim, anything in closing?
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Love it. Love you guys. I mean, we've done a lot of business over the years with so many agents. Got great relationships with many of them. So hopefully we get to work together soon, and you know, all stay healthy.
Good advice.
Tim, how about you, Tim Miller?
Well, thanks for having me on the show, the podcast, and the best thing I can say is if you want to try an experience with a new home construction builder, register a client and bring them out to one of our sites or one of the other builder sites, and go through the experience and see how easy it is to make the commission on that. And if you want to be trained, or if you want to be educated, we're more than happy to educate agents that aren't necessarily trained in new construction to show what we do and how things work. And we're more than happy to educate people.
Yeah. And I think on behalf of, you know, Linda and I, we want to say thanks to Berkshire Hathaway Select. I know we feel that through the pandemic that we've been dealing with, I think that our company has just done a phenomenal job of creating a lot of opportunities for us as agents to grow personally and professionally. Our leadership team has just been phenomenal in creating these wonderful opportunities. And you know, Jessica, you've done a great job too with making these opportunities available. And so it was so easy to approach Tim and Jim and Katie about jumping on here today, because we told them people are going to show up and hear what you have to say. And 100 of you did that today. And we think that's awesome. So we want to thank Berkshire Hathaway Select for the amazing leadership and giving us the opportunity to put these builders in front of you today and talk about these important things.
Yep. Just thanks for taking the time, and just got a great comment in from an attendee that says they hope to bring all of you builders, all three builders on the panel of buyers. So that's awesome.
Sounds great.
Jessica, anything in closing?
No, I thank you guys for putting this together. Linda and Kelly, you guys always put great information, bring it to us. And thank you, Katie, Tim, and Jim. This is really, really helpful and very educational. So I really appreciate all of you guys taking time out and helping us with this. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Stay
Have a great
safe.
day.